Sohail Choudhary. Did I get it right?
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. Welcome.
Right.
Welcome to the Empower Network. I'm happy to be interviewing you. You're over in India right now, so you said you're plus 5.5, and we are -8, so you're 13.5 hours
That's
ahead.
enough.
So
Exactly.
before we jumped on this, you said you're 1:37 now a.m. and I said, are you staying up late for this interview? And you said, no, this is when you're most creative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The juices start to flow at this hour for me. First up, I want to thank you for having me on the network. It's lovely to be a part of your network and to join this interview. And so,
My pleasure.
yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be fun.
Right.
Okay, well, let's talk
Definitely.
about who are you, and you're living over in India. Were you born and raised in India?
Yeah, I was born and raised here, but I do keep traveling
Okay.
here in the Middle East pretty
Okay.
much. So yeah, so this is the place where I work from, given that I've been born here. And Middle East is Middle East, as you know,
Yes.
Dubai and stuff,
Yes,
pretty
yes.
much.
So
Exactly.
what keeps you busy? What type of work are you doing currently?
Currently, I'm into the marketing space. I've been into this space for a decade. That's a pretty interesting story, how I got here, and pretty much we'll get to that in a bit. But currently, what we are doing is helping all the coaches and businesses, especially the local businesses and the small businesses,
Hmm.
bridge the gap between them and their audience.
Hmm.
So in the span, ultimately, one thing that I've noticed in a decade-long career of mine in the marketing space is that there are a lot of talented people out there, a lot of talented coaches out there, and a really good products that are out there. Nobody knows about them.
Hmm.
They just die a really painful death. Everything.
Sounds horrible.
Exactly. Exactly. This is something that inspired me to do this, that I'm doing right now. Everything, all of this fails just because they do not have the marketing in the right place.
Mhm.
Marketing is
Yeah.
not in place at all. And the biggest thing, the core of all this is that they do not understand the customer. They think they do, but they don't.
I wanted to interject something here. So Steve J. Larson and Marley Jackson, people that I've taken some training by. I remember Steve Larson said this, the first time I heard it was like a year or 2 years ago. He said, after you, let's say you're a coach or you're a trainer, you're a speaker, you're an author, something, you offer something. After you've created it's like, I know I'm going to be a coach, let's say. That's your business, your coaching hat. He said, when you want to actually take your product, like you're saying, to the marketplace, your sales and marketing hat is a different hat. You have to take off this hat. You have to put on your sales and marketing hat, which is a totally different hat. And so,
Absolutely.
so if you're saying that products and services are dying lonely deaths, what that also means then that entrepreneurs, people that have something of value to bring to the market, they're dying a lonely death because no one knows about their thing.
Exactly. Literally, that's what's been happening. I meet a bunch of people on a daily basis, and this is what they question me the most. How do I scale my business?
Okay.
First thing I ask is, what's your business?
Okay.
Right? If I have to get into this, they tell a lot of things. And of course, the whole thing after the COVID, a lot of business have died. Only the ones who have a deep pockets have managed to survive. So that's there. Keeping that thing in mind, this is what I think. Again, most of the companies invest a lot in the product, R&D, most important. Agreed. There's no doubt about it. A really good management, yes, agreed. But when it comes to marketing, they have zero idea. They just
Okay.
read a few books. It's a good thing. They get started through the YouTube. But again, like you said, the best team that are out there, they do what they do best. Like you talked about wearing different hats. If I have no idea about coding, I can never become a good coder.
Oh,
What
no.
I'm going to do,
Yeah.
I'm just going to outsource that part. Someone who's good. So
Yeah.
I know I'm really good at marketing. I know my customer. I can deliver that. So now that I do not have the SaaS product, I will get the best one that's out there to create exactly what I want. And then I'm going to do my part. That's the marketing.
Okay, so let's talk about, because there's a lot of coaches in this group. Let's talk about why is marketing hard for like 90% of coaches? What problems do they have to solve, maybe that they don't even know they have to solve in marketing? Why are they getting tripped up in marketing?
A lot of coaches, you can say most of them, they are operating from the point of fear. Basically, when you operate from the point of fear, you're going to be very suspicious of everything. You're not going to believe. The mentality kicks in. Everything you do, you're going to do your second guesses. Okay, if this works or not. Am I doing the right thing? I've seen a lot of coaches that they have spent a ton of money, yet they have not ended up with good results. All of this has happened to two different reasons. First, not getting the right marketing team, not doing their diligence, or either they try to run those marketing things by themselves, be it advertisement, be it branding. The unfortunate thing is, yes, coaches are someone, they are really good at what they do. But the whole thing about marketing is that your customers, when they jump onto your profiles, when they come across you, they have to feel at ease. That's the job. They should feel like this is the place that I belong. When your ideal customer jumps onto your page, the feeling should be like, this is the guy that understands exactly what I'm going through.
Like they're home, like whether it's
exactly
a guy, it's a girl, it's like they land on your stuff. It's like, this is the lady I've been looking for. This is the dude that, oh, big sigh of relief. Okay, so this is why I said, okay, the reason I will just segue for a second. Personalities play a big part, because not just our practical skill set training, like you said, coaches will spend $8,000 to $10,000 to get their accredited coaching thing, and then maybe they'll go and spend a bit more money to go on these other things to upgrade. But that's like being a car mechanic, and that's like this is how you work on a car. But then you actually need a physical building. Then you need signage out in front of that building. You have to let people know to drive awareness, eyeballs. Hey, we do car mechanic work over here. So there's different compartments here. And the Bossy assessment that some of the coaches have done that I've interviewed, it's fascinating to get their results, because the Bossy really shows people where their areas of strength. And most coaches, like you said, you're talking about, most coaches are S personality types, primary, secondary, which means they're a specialist, and they're really good usually with people. They're good in caring for people. They're good in making them feel safe. But most coaches are actually weak on the marketing side, the sales and marketing. They don't want to market themselves. So when you've dealt with coaches, for example, or authors, trainers, speakers, business owners, people that are selling something digitally, Sohail, how do you help them cross that barrier so that they have an awakening and they go, oh, now I get it? How? Because that's probably a bit of a challenge, is it not?
That's a big challenge, Amos. I'll tell you, that's an extremely big challenge, but that's something I really like about it. So I'm going to give you just a bit of an example of something that has happened in the recent months. One of the big coaches that's out there, that recently we have onboarded. So he was basically facing an issue with his stagnancy. They have hit stagnancy for 14 months. They have reached their level, and they were not able to increase their revenues. They were not able to increase their followers on the social media, and they're pretty big. It's pretty big that's out there. So the first thing I looked at is the stagnation. What's the specific reason for that? So they're doing everything that they can do, but the coach is giving his 100%. In fact, 200%. Actually, I was even surprised that he's been working for 6 years at least, and his team entirely has been working really hard, but the marketing was all over the place. The people they trusted, they showed the faith in, all of them, none of them could do the things that they're supposed to do. That's the reason they were just burning the money like crazy. So as soon as I onboarded, it just didn't seem like coach, the value that he can provide, the value he provides, basically, the people are not able to see it. If you just go through his profiles and the other things, it does not seem like whatever the person stands for, how presentable the coach is. If you're talking about this particular coach, it was not there. Because since I've spent time with him, I know him now.
Yeah.
And whatever image, his reputation that we see all over the internet,
yeah,
it does not match.
Okay, so you're talking about not just what does your Facebook page say, but you're talking about all the little videos, all the reels, all the Instagram posts. Is there congruency in the marketing, number one? And also, is the marketing message the correct message, number two? And maybe there's more things you're talking about. Am I hearing you correctly in that?
Absolutely, absolutely. The sales were there. They were decent, yes. There's a huge improvement. And there were a lot of things, be it the branding, be it the reputation, be the way the things are being handled, and a ton of leads. I'll tell you this, I'll emphasize on this, the ton of leads, the ton of money that was being left on the table. Nothing was in place. There was no proper email marketing, targeting the people who have seen your ads. Through the email marketing, that email marketing generates up to 30 to 40% of the revenue for any coach that comes is through the email marketing. All of it's on table.
Okay, so now you just signed this coach now, or how recent is this acquisition?
I'd say 2.5 months.
Okay, what have you been able to do in 2.5 months then for this coach?
Well, for starters, that hit stagnancy for a long time.
Okay.
In the first 20 days that we onboarded, his Instagram profile organically got 14,000 followers. Mind you, this is the same coach who had its stagnancy. Everything is organic. We just did simple tweaks. We all try to do and move the mountains when things are not working.
Yeah.
In most of the cases, that's not the issue. We just need those simple tweaks, a few tweaks in here and there, and pretty much it's sorted. It's all about trust. Like I said in the beginning, when someone visits you, he should feel home.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He belongs there.
Yeah.
Because that is what we focus on. And another thing that comes up, especially in today's world, that all you see over the internet, if you want to trend, you have to do all the gimmicks that are out there. We don't necessarily believe in that. If, let's say, a coach does that, will he stay true to his identity? I don't think so.
Because
then what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? Okay, so we talked about the Instagram went up 14,000 organic followers in the first, how many days?
14 15 days. Yeah. The fortnight reports had this.
Okay, what happened to his other engagement? Was other social medias? What happened to?
If we talk about Facebook, since we have overtaken in the 3 months, like 2.5 to 3 months time now, his Facebook engagement has increased 9 times.
Okay. And did he have proper autoresponders set up? Was his email autoresponders, where was that?
No, initially the whole thing we started off with is social media. That is something we're focusing on. And slowly we understood that, given that I just like to go through the things, right? So that's my job, basically. I mean, and more importantly, I believed in this coach so much so. I mean, I just felt that the guy's content is such good, it should be out there.
Okay.
So it became this. See, a lot of coaches give up, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, a lot of people give up after not being able to have that impact in a short time, but he was still trying. I said, but you have been trying, just have some faith. So I just looked at the few things, the website, funnels, the email marketing, the closing, the setters, whoever are handling the pages, how are the things going? So I just asked a few questions every time, every fortnight. What's going on? How is this happening? I just saw a few leads. Why are they not being converted? Given that we are handling the social medias, we can have a look at the inbox, why they were not there. So then they started to discuss with us exactly what was happening, why it was happening. And we discussed, this is not how it is. This is how the things need to be.
Okay.
And also not just this, but the other things, if we talk about the paid advertisement, the media buying part, that's the biggest thing, right? That's the big chunk of money. That's where it goes. A lot of it was, again, being mismanaged. A lot of it was being wasted. I mean, the figures were astonishingly obnoxious, if I
Okay.
have to put it.
So we're 3.5 months down the road. Where's this bottom line now? What?
With this right now, the things are in place. We are just working with pretty much everything regards to marketing, because since I'm aware exactly what can be done in the marketing, so that becomes an obligation for me, for my clients, to give them exactly, to tell them exactly what's wrong. So I just gave it to them straight. So this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And exactly that's what we are fixing. So we are just letting them know exactly where they're wrong, what they're doing. So it all started from the social media. And now I'm involved in fixing the paid advertisement, that's the media buying, and the entire other things. There are the PR and a few other things are also there. So those things as well, we're looking into it. And the other part is the email marketing and the funnels and everything. And we're more importantly, we are trying to shorten the funnel. The deal is they were having coach, he was still getting good results, but the whole thing was he was hopping on webinar every weekend, jumping on a webinar, taking a webinar for 4 hours, explaining them, and then converting them onto for a live event. And from there on, he used to close. So basically, it didn't make much sense.
Did he have his webinars automated?
Exactly. I was surprised. I just asked them, why don't you have your webinars automated? So 4 of the agencies that they had worked with previously, 4, more or less it was 4, they just told them that you cannot have any automated. If you want to run these coaching programs, you got to do it live. I was flabbergasted. Like, how can you even believe in this? There are a ton of people that are out there. They're just doing it. You got to test a few different things. That's how it works. So it's not their problem. There's some marketing agency, especially when it comes to the BTL.
Sorry,
the reputations are
media. What's that?
Below the line marketing, where we are going to be very targeted and specific.
Okay,
as opposed to the ATL.
Oh, above the line.
Yes, above the line one would be where you're not targeting, like say Apple and everyone.
Okay.
The one we go the conventional way of marketing. That's you go through the telly, you just buy the billboards and stuff, because that's again not targeted. But here we are going to target it, everything, whatever we're doing.
Okay.
So in the BTL, the industry is so ruined. The reputation of this marketing space is so ruined that people are just buying the money. They're just destroying the accounts. See, every coach that we on board with, or let's say when they hire a marketing team, they expect results, right? What happens when the marketing team is not able to generate results? The simple thing they do is add fake followers and show the results. What it does is it ruins the entire account. It's done. It's going to take years for that account to revive even.
Let's talk about that, because there's coaches that are aware, or authors, speakers, business owners, and the temptation is to buy. Can we just segue for a second into fake accounts? What happens if someone, now, what do they pay for this? $500 for 500 followers? What's the typical number?
Oh, no, that's very cheap. People do take a lot of money, but you usually by $500, easily you can have like 100K followers.
Okay, so you get all those followers. What happens? It's like you're hungry, and so you go to McDonald's. Initially, it feels good, and then you get zero nutrition and you feel like crap after. So when you get those followers, you said it ruins your account. Why does it ruin your account?
because these platforms, they identify, they deduct it, and they kill your reach and your page. It gets taken off from the search engines and everything of the social media accounts,
Yep.
so that regardless of your post, it will barely reach out to the people.
So they know, so Google knows if your followers are real, or if they're bots, or if they're been paid for.
Absolutely. Absolutely, every one of them are aware. They run those platforms. They have to be aware.
So have you
That
seen,
is the big issue.
okay, so I wasn't aware of that. I thought, it's kind of like, well, if I'm going to work out, let's do it the real way, not with, some people use steroids, fine, that's for them. But if I'm going to work out, I want to do it with health. I want to do it with, and not do the cheat. So I thought that buying followers had no negative consequences, other than I was like, well, I don't want to buy followers because I want to do it the right way, my version of the right way. So you're saying there is actually, okay, I didn't know this. I'm sure there's people that didn't know that. They just aren't doing it because they're like, why would I do that? That's not honest. But okay, so is account
That's
redeemable after they?
literally, I'll just stop you for a second there.
Yeah.
Literally, that is what the marketers marketed cigarettes, saying that it's not harmful, but rather it's very healthy.
Okay.
You need to smoke it.
Okay. So, okay, let's move back to what you're talking about. I just wanted to clarify that then. So, who do you like to work with? What kind of clients are you doing brick and mortar? Are you doing digital? Are you doing?
Digital is the space that we thrive at. Pretty much anything that can be done online, we do it pretty much everything.
Okay,
To put it into a
how many
nutshell.
months does it take for a person, someone comes and says, hey, I want to check out what Sohail has to offer. How many months does it take to get them? Let's say it's a new coach or a new author that has a course, a book, and they've done very little social media. What should they expect? Is it a 6-month process? Is it a 9-month process?
Are you talking about their organic growth, or you're talking about the sales? Because marketing has a lot of different aspects.
You know what, take a few minutes and go into all of it. Paint a picture of someone that, let's say they have a book or they have a course, they have something that's going, but it's very little. What is it realistic? Like, does it take a year to get organic reach up? Let's say they're starting with 100 or 200 followers on Instagram and their Facebook small. How many months does it take to get their followers up? And then how many months to generate sales? Just ballpark that.
Right. So I'll just divide it into 2 to 3 different aspects of it. First thing, let's just talk about the social media aspect, right? The branding aspect, right? And the organic impact.
Yeah.
First things first, we need to brand a business. Regardless, you got to brand it properly. The idea of branding is that regardless of your audience who's been following you or who will follow you for some time, that they should know, even if you post a single creative on your, if they see that single creative anywhere in the world, they should recognize that it is from you.
So it's seamless.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So that is the first idea. That's the whole point of branding. You see Red Bull, that's the way they do it. All they keep eyes are the cans, or they just like someone is pulling off a Daredevil event. They have their name. Pretty much, that's what it is. You take any of those games, any of those daring activities, you would instantly know that Red Bull is sponsoring them. Even if they do not have the logo, you know it, because that is how they have ingrained it, the brand, in our minds.
So you're saying that if a person is, let's say they're starting their business, it's very important that they're aware that every picture, every video, everything that's on social media needs to accurately and congruently represent the brand that they're carrying forward. Therefore, anything that's in the past needs to be removed, because that will confuse the audience's mind.
Exactly. They need to know exactly what they're doing. Because ultimately, when you have one client or one follower, Amos, he is a follower because he likes something, he finds something interesting, and that guy is going to follow you forever. So he has liked something authentic. For you, since a coach or a business is authentic, you've got to show your authenticity, and authenticity is the way you brand yourself. You'll brand it in such a way that you are unique in the entire world. And that is what you're going to present there with your brand. And once this branding part is over, if we're talking about, we are going to talk about the reach, the organic reach. I'll tell you two things that comes into this. Let's say I see a post of you. Somehow it comes into my feed. I'm going to see, okay, this is Amos Bracewell. So let me just open it up. And I see 200 followers. First things I'm going to be like, yeah, I like his content, but he only has 200 followers. Regardless of how much we disagree with the numbers, we're not going to do for the numbers and everything. At the end of the day, numbers do matter. Yep. This is why the whole popularity, not just the popularity contest, but you being out there matters. Whatever you're saying, a lot of people post reels each day. I think you've seen it. You've seen a ton of coaches, ton of businessmen that post reels each day, but it does not blow up. It does not reach out to a lot of people. So it's your job to make sure that it reaches to the people, the potential people. When you organize, you optimize your social medias in the optimal way, your content will be organically pushed to the people who like it. Remember, they have the algorithm.
Yep.
Ultimately, the social medias want people to stick on the platform for as long as they can. So definitely they're your friends. So you just gotta be utilizing them properly.
Yep.
Yes.
I just want to respond, please. Yes. I love what you're saying, but here's the reality. A lot of people, myself included, that are starting something new, let's say some form of business, they've spent 10, 15 years on social media, let's say on Facebook, maybe Instagram, and they've been posting all this stuff because at the time, it was about their family. It was about the breakup they went through. It was about losing their little pet. It was about the Christmas where they overate and they posted a picture of them with their 3 siblings. And, they got this well of history. And now they decided, now I'm going to be a coach and teach something or be a service provider. And so now I know who I am and I'm going forward. So this is so before organic reach, it's important to look at branding. As you're saying this, I'm learning from what you're saying. I'm having some realizations for myself. And I think a lot of people are going to get a lot from this, but so you have to go back first and clean up the past, anything that doesn't align with the branding you're carrying forward from today forward. Secondly, organic reach. So how does someone change their organic reach so that when someone comes to their page, they don't get snubbed because they only have 100 followers or 200 followers? How do they get to 500 to 1,000 followers? What is the secret sauce with the content they're pushing out that's congruent with their branding today? Sohail, how do they do that?
Right. So I'll answer the first part of it. The first thing that you told that they have to clean up all of their past videos and everything, that's there, but it does not necessarily matter because we are living in the age of attention deficit people. People do not have time.
Okay.
All of the social medias platforms, be it YouTube, be it TikTok, these became popular. Everyone is, even Instagram, Reels, all of these people are moving towards the shorter format of content. Okay. Because they have realized that their people do not have a lot of time. Okay. So eventually, so that's how everything will be focused on. Either it's going to be the shortest format of content or the podcasts, 2 hours, 3 hours, the really lengthy content. These 10-minute, 15-minute videos are going to disappear in a few years. That's there. So it doesn't matter what's there in the past. So it's all about building your audience. You have to understand who you are, who your audience is, and you have to build the audience accordingly, right? So let's say your Joe, your friend, might not like the kind of content you're teaching. He might not like it, he might not respond to it. But once you put the content out there, the people who can relate to it will start to follow you. They are your audience. Your relatives, your cousins, your family, your friends, they are not your audience, right? So there's entire world, but you always speak to a certain segment of it. That is your audience all the time. So it doesn't matter what happens in the past, but you can always start from now, but make sure you're building a brand, because everything compounds over time. You might just think, right, okay, I don't have 200 followers. What's going to happen? So this month I gain 200, next month I gain another 200. So in a year, I'm going to gain how much? 2,400 followers. Okay, next year I'm going to gain how much? Another 2,400 followers. So totally it's going to be 4,800. In 10 years time, I'm going to have at the max 20,000 followers. What should I do? Here's where people go wrong. As Bill Gates had once said it, people overestimate themselves in 1 year, but underestimate in 5 years. Exactly. So the compounding is something people do not understand over time. When you build your value, you're going to grow exponentially. First thing. So it's all about that. When you're pushing content out there, you're giving yourself the chance to go viral. You're giving yourself the chance to reach out to a lot of people that are out there. And eventually you're going to do that. So this is one aspect. So it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. We can just move on. The second aspect is, as far as your growth is concerned, so given that you have to do organically initially, especially for the initial stage up until you reach 10,000 followers and stuff, you would have to give it a bit of a time for your social medias. Exactly. There are some strategies. Now, exactly, I cannot pinpoint one thing because there are a lot of it. Basically, you need someone who is mastering it, who knows how to handle it, who knows how algorithms are working, who knows what are trending, what's the best way to ride a wave, and in that wave, reach out to the right audience and increase our reach, increase our followings, right? So this is the things that you can do. So there are two ways to go about it. One thing is you can do it. You give your time to your work and you do these things, put in 5-6 hours and end up not having the big impact, or get someone who knows exactly what marketing is, who knows exactly how to connect with people and grow your audience. So what's going to happen when you do, you might make it, or you might not make it in 1 year. You might just end up having 500 followers in a year. Once you have someone, you might have the 500 followers in 2 months. Let's say you have a team for a year. You'll end up having 10,000, 50,000 followers. This is how it works. That's why you pay them, basically, to get the job done, to put you out there. So this is one aspect I'm talking about again. Marketing entirely, the organic way,
You can hire
which
a
is
team.
necessary.
Sorry, I just want to ask, you can hire a team to get you 20 to 50,000 followers in a year organically?
Pretty much you can do that if your content, see, ultimately, like I said, I'll tell you this is a coach, this is a brand, this is the audience.
No.
Marketing basically is the bridge. There are a lot of good coaches, there's always audience out there, but there is nobody to connect them, right? Once we have the bridge, pretty much everything works out.
Okay, so it's clearly identifying your branding, who you are, who you're not, identifying your audience, who they are and who they're not, because a lot of times we want to serve an audience and that audience doesn't want us to serve it. So it's who am I not? It's being honest about that. Who's my audience? So is that who's naturally responding to my content? Is that your actual audience?
Exactly. The people who relate to it, people who react to it, comment to it, ask questions about it, or even someone who hates it. They might hate it now, but down the line, they're going to become your loyal customers if you know how you can convert them.
Yep. Fascinating stuff. So how are people going to get a hold of you? If they're hearing this and they're like, okay, I want to hear more from Sohail. Do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook group? How do you market yourself? How do they contact you?
We have a website. It's there on my profile, but it's Markpert. That's the website that we have. So people can reach out to me through Facebook or any other leading social media platform. I'm available there. My team is available there. Pretty much you can reach out to me and we can definitely do the consulting. I will teach you exactly what you need. We'll give you the honest truth, basically what your brand needs. Because honestly, the end goal is to succeed, be it for us, be it for the brand. You got to give them the hard truth, exactly what they need to do. It's from there on, you'll have to see exactly how the things will plan out. Yep. Right. So if we talk about this aspect, the marketing aspect, this is a different aspect. This is to put you out there. So basically, let me just give you one example. Let's just say I see an ad or a video of Amos, basically where Amos is teaching that, you sit on the laptop all the time, so you slouch, you'll have a lower back pain. I'll see that at the age of 22 and I'll never relate to it. I'm like, okay, who even has this? But I'm 4 years down the line. I'll start to face the lower back issue because of sitting a lot on the chairs in front of the laptop. That time it's going to flash to me. Okay, I saw Amos. He was talking about this. I'm going to search out for Amos, look at his content, where he talks about how one can get the relief from the lower back pain just with 2 minutes of exercises. Because I just checked that and I still follow it because I sit on the table whenever, every day. This is the stretchings that I do. It barely takes 5 minutes. I look for it. This is how you connect. Because a customer, sometimes you don't, even if you pitch, even if you reach out to them, they might not necessarily buy from you right away, but they will always be in your pipeline. They might not need your services right now. People might need it down the line, a year down the line, 2 years down the line. People who are listening to me right now, they might reach out to me after a year. You never know, right? Pretty much. So this is one idea. This is a different aspect about putting yourself out there, having the numbers, having the community being built. The third one that we have in the place are sales. Because at the end of the day, you need to make money. If you don't make money, you cannot sustain this operation entirely. It's not sustainable, right? So that's where the entire sales part comes in. With the organic reach, you'll have people who come in, who like your product, they'll buy from you, or they might not end up buying from you, right? But with the sales, it's going to be direct. It's going to be accurate. You're going to reach out exactly to the people who want your exact product. That's how powerful these tools are. Google, Meta, they're extremely, extremely targeted. If you want to reach out exactly who you want, who your audience is, you can definitely reach out. But remember this, there is an audience for everyone. There literally is an audience. Whatever you can think of, yes, there is an audience. You can sell it to them.
It's true, because it's impossible. It's impossible in life to thirst for water unless water exists. If you thirst for it, somewhere on the planet it exists. And if you have a desire to help and teach and lead and supply a need that others have, they exist somewhere, or else you wouldn't have that desire. So I love what you're saying. You know what? That was 44 minutes, just blew past really fast. Thank you, Sohail, for delivering all of this valuable content. Anyone that's looking to grow their social media or wondering how do they do their brand or ads, like, they need to watch this video. So I'll make sure that a lot of people see this. I look forward to chatting again with you. I need to cut the video off, unfortunately, because it's what time is it for you? Is 2:46? No, 1:46 your time. 2:16. 16. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And if they want to get a hold of you, your Facebook profile, and I'll tag you in this. You're in the group Facebook profile. They can find you there. They can jump on your website. They can ask questions, jump on a discovery call with you and your team and find out. Okay, hypothetically, if I want help with this, Sohail, how would you suggest? This is where I'm at. How do I take my coaching business or any business up here? So, and you're going to help them.
If I have to ask you a few questions right off the bat.
Yes.
Right. Cool. Sure. First things first. Why should people listen to you?
Oh, this is what you would ask them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because I need to know. What happens usually is people think, the people that I've come across, the brands that I've come across, they think that X is their audience.
Yes.
But it turns out after all these questions, their audience is actually Y. This is something that has happened a lot of time. I need to understand it because I understand marketing better. That's what I charge for.
Yes.
So that once I understand everything, I'm going to tell you like, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is how we can do it. So we're going to prepare the chart. If I'll just have to walk you down
Why
a
should
few
people
things.
listen to you?
Yeah, exactly. I will just tell them exactly, this is your brand. We are going to create the master file for you guys. We're going to put in a lot of research for a week, who you are, who your competitors are, what they're doing, what you guys are doing, what you should do, where you should grow, and how you can get the sales, and whatever else that are necessary. This is something we'll put down, and we're going to give you exactly what the roadmap of what happens. And whenever we onboard a client, so we ask them for the 3 months time. Don't judge us just yet, to give us 3 months of time. You're going to start to see the results. Initially, if someone is just starting off, it takes a bit more time usually, because it always takes a bit of time to get the ball rolling. But once that happens, it's going to be a smooth sail beyond that point.
So the
If I
first
have to
question
put this
the first question is, why should anyone listen to you? I love that question.
exactly.
I love that.
Yes, and the next is, again, it's a bit related. What is your unique selling point?
What is your USP? What sets you
Yeah.
apart from your competitors? So one, why does your voice matter? I love that you're asking people that, because this culture has swung it, in my opinion, too far to the everyone passes, everyone gets a gold star. It's like, no. Know yourself. What are you good at? Why should your voice matter? Number one, sell me on that your voice matters in this way you want it to matter. Number two, what is your unique selling proposition? What sets you apart from Jimmy, Johnny, Jane, and Julia? Like,
Exactly.
are you creatively creating a message that is going to uniquely identify you? That's a second question. And what's the third? I'm waiting for the third. Close the loop. Close the loop.
Well, total, if I have to talk about the sheet, you'll have 20 to 30 questions entirely. But if I have to give you the third question, it's going to be like, what are your customers going to benefit from you if they hop on with you?
Okay. What is the real value you bring to your customers? And so that it's a quantitative, it's not what do you want their value to be. From the people you've already worked with, how are you going to help them? What roadmap have you already created that you can then put you've already had people go on your roadmap and proven it works. What are the real results your customers have already received? So it's factual. It's
Right.
not whimsical. Oh, I wish for rainbows and ponies. I like that. You get right in their face. We need that. We need right in our face.
It's really important to have a reality check right now instead of wasting like $20,000, $50,000 and getting a reality check, right? You could use the same money somewhere else.
Yeah.
It saves our time as well as theirs.
Yep. I love your style, man. Just give it to people straight. There's no point in beating around the bush. Just our time is fleeting here. Let's do some stuff, and let's do it with honesty. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Just two last bonus points I want to add. A lot of coaches that have already started, they have a lot of leakage in their system. This is something that's really hard for them to realize, because we know a lot of systems that are out there. What happens is they still have a lot of testimonials and all the other things which they could use to get more results. But a lot of coaches end up not utilizing it properly. They do not utilize their audience properly as well. So there are two ways to go about it. If I have to say, let's say you have a targeted audience, someone who follows you already. That is where you can go aggressive. Let's say, Amos, you follow me. Now you know who I am. I can aggressively sell you. Amos, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you need. This is how I can even push it in your face. Because you know me, because you trust me, you will listen to me. You will be sold on my offer. But if this is entirely a new person who has never heard about me, I'm going to target him different.
Soft. Yeah.
Yes, the way you
relation,
target it matters.
yeah,
Exactly.
giving value, just exactly what you're doing right now. You're giving people value by how you're closing off this call. You're giving them value so that they start to like and trust you and then want to follow you and learn more from you. Yep.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So
Great. It was a great. So I will, let's end it here. And thank you so much, Sohail, for being on this interview. You've given great value to the people that will watch this.
thank you, Amos. It's an honor. And thanks for having me here. And I hope I've provided the value to the entire group. If they have any questions, they can reach out to me anytime or text me or even comment the post. I'll get back to them. So it was really nice chatting to you, Amos. Thanks once again.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching the
Absolutely.
Empower Network, everyone. Hope you're having a great day, and hope you got some great things from this interview with Sohail like I did. Ciao for now.